New Jersey? More like, ew, Jersey. A lot of New Jersey lies in the shadow of New York City or Philadelphia. So living in New Jersey, it's like having big city amenities everywhere without the drama. Except for where there is drama. In this video, we're going to go over the 10 worst places to live in New Jersey. Let's see what's behind door number 10.
Number 10 is Pleasantville.
Is that even a real place?
Pleasantville? More like Unpleasantville. Stop at the Rollin' Smoke on your way there, but you never make it to Pleasantville because instead, you made it to processing because the cops mistook you for someone else. That's right, you became the fall guy, or the fall gal, because you drove the same car and coincidentally enough, you looked like them too. Well, lucky enough, I was here to save the day for you because I made it to Pleasantville.
So can we, get on with the story?
Pleasantville sits right outside of Atlantic City. There's really not much that ever goes on here. The economy is bad, the public schools are bad, and the overall quality of life is bad. At least, bad enough to make it the 10th worst place to live in New Jersey. Overall, New Jersey is a pretty affluent state, but not here.
Nope.
The median household income is just $54,000 per year, which is about $50,000 per year less than that for all of New Jersey, and $25,000 per year less than that for the US. Additionally, the poverty rate is 25.1%. Not good.
Nice work, Captain Obvious.
Really, the only sector of the economy around here would be the Atlantic City gaming, tourism, and service industries, and that has very little, if any, positive effect on Pleasantville. I mean, maybe you'll get a few hundred people filling up their gas tank at a convenience store in Pleasantville, or maybe somebody will get some fast food on their way out, but not much else. And now time for some more stats to throw at you all at once just to make your brain hurt. Only 11% of adults 25 and older have earned at least a bachelor's degree, and even worse, only 74% of adults have graduated high school. The median home value is just $194,000, and 35% of youth live in poverty households.
That's not accurate. I live here. I would know.
Well, hey, guess what? The next place on our list? Yeah, it's named after a spray tan. Number 9 is Orange.
Don't talk to me.
Ever heard of the show called Orange is the New Black? How about Orange is the new 9th worst place to live in New Jersey? Or should I say the City of Orange, as it's officially called. City of Orange, just Orange, Orange Township, whatever you want to call it, I don't care. The Citrus Hood, whatever, you know? We all know what I'm talking about here, unless you don't. And if you don't, well, Orange is just northwest of Newark. And while you can definitely find worse places to live in New Jersey other than Orange, you can just as easily, if not more so, find better places to live. And if you're looking to move to the area, maybe try finding a place that doesn't have, a long history of corruption? Yeah, that would be a good start. What up, Willis Edwards III? Know who that guy is? No? Okay, well, about a decade ago, our man Willis Edwards III served as the business administrator for the township of Orange. But what happened was that he allocated $350,000 in emergency funds for the city of Orange and basically just gave it all to his buddy in a con job to install a computer networking system. In return, Edwards accepted $20,000 in cash kickbacks. Well, long story short, in 2020, he was found in Georgia and was charged with a 28-count indictment fraud.
Shame.
The city of Orange also has the highest property taxes in all of Essex County, but it doesn't have the best schools in the county, or anything close to it, so why pay the highest property taxes if you don't get the best schools? Well, on to the crime rates, they say. Okay, on to the crime rates. The violent crime rate is 520 per 100,000 residents, and the property crime rate is 1,925 per 100,000 residents. That might not be the worst that we've seen, but it could be a lot better. Same story for the economics. The median household income is just $53,000 per year, which is over $50,000 per year less than that for the state. And the poverty rate is 21.9%, with even more households on the brink of poverty, with over half of Orange households making less than $50,000 per year. Now to throw a bunch of stats at you all at once just to make your brain hurt, only 22.6% of adults 25 and older have obtained at least a bachelor's degree, which is about half of the rate for all of the New York metro area. Only 78.4% of adults have graduated high school, and 27% of youth live in poverty households. So basically, Orange is a corrupt, poverty-stricken, forgotten-about suburb with a higher than average crime rate.
Well, I'm still going to move to Orange, because orange is my favorite color.
Called me daddy.
Next, we go from the land of corrupt fruit to the land of bad football and bad basketball. Number 8 is New Brunswick.
How dare you?
Not even Rutgers could save New Brunswick from this list. Most college towns have a lot of feel-good vibes, but not here.
Nope.
New Brunswick was formed all the way back in 1730. In 1766, then Queen's College, now Rutgers, was founded, and today it's the 8th longest operating college in the US. The town also thrived off of various industries in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, but not no more.
Nope.
These days, the only things New Brunswick thrives off of is high crime, high poverty, and high doom and gloom. The median household income is $66,000 per year, while the poverty rate is 32%. Now, a lot of college towns have high poverty rates as their population is made up of college kids, but it's a little bit different here, because as many as 44% of the youth live in poverty households. Additionally, only 67% of adults in this town have graduated high school.
Oh, so you'd fit right in, because you don't sound like you've graduated high school.
Good grief! Only 67% for a supposed college town that's supposed to be full of liberal academic wackadoos. Just kidding, unless I'm not, but that's terrible. Terrible. It makes the under-average 23.4% of adults 25 and older with at least a bachelor's degree look like an amazing accomplishment or something. Only 67% of adults have a high school diploma. Lastly, the crime rates are well above average, as the violent crime rate is 630 per 100,000 residents, while the property crime rate is 2,600 per 100,000 residents. Come for a tour of Rutgers? Stay because you got New Brunswick baptized. What is that, you ask? It's when someone at a Rutgers sidewalk tent offers you a free water bottle posing as Rutgers staff, then they keep you in the conversation to tell you more about Rutgers while their buddy steals your lanyard with your keys on it, so now you have no car and no way to escape New Brunswick. Moral of the story? You can visit Rutgers and be just fine. Just don't keep your keys on your lanyard, because that's how they'll get you.
Don't listen to him. I was just at Rutgers with my lanyard and nothing happened to me.
Next up, we head north to the almighty banks of the Passaic. Number 7 is Patterson.
Hell yeah, it is.
Patterson? More like claustrophobia, Tin. Streets so narrow you can't even drive a golf cart on them.
You are clearly not from anywhere near here.
Damn straight I'm not from here. Sure as hell proud of it too. What can I say? I like my streets, wide enough to fit 2 vehicles comfortably. Hey, what can I say? I have standards, and I like my standards to be met. Patterson is northwest of Passaic, which is northwest of Rutherford, which is northwest of East Rutherford, which is northwest of North Bergen, which is northwest of West New York, which is northwest of New York.
Wow, that really cleared things up. Not.
Early on, Patterson thrived off of industry, and lots of it. The city is even deemed by some as being the nation's first industrial city. Silk manufacturing was a big part of it, and Patterson was even nicknamed as the Silk City. Locomotive manufacturing was big here too. Until it wasn't. Don't get me wrong, there's still industry in Patterson today, with manufacturing employing around 10,000 people or so, but that's a far cry from the 100,000 or so who worked at the factories here during the peak years, I would say. The median household income these days is $60,700, a far cry from that for all of New Jersey, and the poverty rate is 18.3%, with even more households on the brink of poverty, with 44% of them bringing in less than $50,000 per year. Now time for some more stats to throw at you all at once just to make your brain hurt. Only 10.6% of adults 25 and older here have obtained at least a bachelor's degree. That has to be among the worst rates in all of the New York metro area. Has to be. Only 73% of adults have graduated high school, and 25% of the youth live in poverty households. Not good.
Gee, you think?
Lastly, the crime rates here are out of control. It's not so much the property crime rate to be concerned with, but it's more so the violent crime rate, because it's nearly 3 times the national rate at 930 per 100,000 residents.
If you thought Patterson was bad, just wait till you see what's next.
Number 6 is Newark.
Yikes.
Let me tell you, things are lit here in Newark, unless they are not. Newark has had a lot of things not going for it over the years. A story that went well under the national radar would be the Newark-led water crisis from 2017 to 2019. They can thank Flint, Michigan for stealing the negative press there, but according to the city of Newark, over 23,000 lead water lines have been replaced. So that's good at least. Early on, Newark thrived off of multiple industries, but specifically in the manufacturing of luxurious products such as leather shoes, watches, jewelry. By the 1820s, as much as 1/3 of Newark's labor force helped manufacture leather shoes, and by the 1840s, 80% of Newark's labor force was engaged in some sort of manufacturing. But not no more.
Nope.
These days, the leading industries in Newark are transportation and logistics warehousing, healthcare, and bus drivers. Yes, lots and lots of bus drivers. The median household income for Newark is $58,500 per year, or nearly $50,000 per year less than that for all of New Jersey. The poverty rate is 21.8%, with a lot more right outside of poverty status, with 43% of all households making less than $50,000 per year. For a place like New Jersey, with the cost of living the way that it is, that won't get you very far.
Gee, you think?
Additionally, the violent crime rate is around 600 per 100,000 residents, while the property crime rate is 1,850 per 100,000 residents. This is a number that used to be a lot higher not too long ago, so good job by Newark on improving that. But they're going to have to continue to improve on that, and they're going to have to be able to sustain those improvements for many years to come in order to completely shed high crime from its overall reputation. While the next place on our list is worse off than Newark, it doesn't have to worry about a negative reputation because nobody from outside of New Jersey ever hears about it. Number 5 is Bridgeton.
Never heard of it.
Bridgeton? More like Bridge-tucky. That's what people from the Midwest would call it. Bridgeton is a town of 27,000 in the far southern part of the state. It'll take you about an hour to drive to Philadelphia from here. Early on, Bridgeton thrived off of the glass industry, ironworks, and agriculture, but primarily the ironworks and glass factories because at one point, there were as many as 20 glass factories in Bridgeton. But not no more.
Nope.
Today, the economy more so resembles that of broken glass. Picture your grandmother's favorite piece of glass art hitting the floor, shattering into 100 pieces. It's impossible to put back together, and it's heartbreaking, and it's a terrible, terrible thing, but that's Bridgeton's economy. The median household income is $55,780 per year, and the poverty rate is 27.2%. With even more households on the brink of poverty, as 45% of them bring in less than $50,000 per year. And now for some more stats to throw at you all at once just to make your brain hurt. As much as 38% of the youth here live in poverty. The median home value is just $145,500, which is among the lowest in all of New Jersey. Only 7.4% of adults 25 and older have obtained at least a bachelor's degree, and less than 70% of adults have a high school diploma. What in the boondocks of all boondocks? That's a whole different level of bad, and usually with education levels that low, the local economy will stay stagnant forever. That's like the ultimate gut punch to economic growth. Lastly, the crime rates for a small town are absurd. The violent crime rate is 900 per 100,000 residents, or nearly 3 times the national rate, and the property crime rate is 3,450 per 100,000 residents. Visit to purchase a rental property to up your slumlord game? Stay because you got small town shanked. Oh yeah. Little did you know there were some squatters in the crib you were looking to buy, but too bad and too late for you because now you have no money, no car, nowhere to stay, and you don't know anybody, and you have no phone. They stole everything but the clothes on your back, so now you're just wandering around town trying to figure out a solution.
Someone should have small town shanked you when you were there.
And if you thought Bridgeton was bad, just remember, this list is ranked in order, so it only gets worse from here. Number 4 is Trenton.
Very dangerous.
As the old saying goes, Trenton makes, the world takes. But these days, the new saying goes more like, Trenton makes, your heart break. Back in the day, Trenton was known for its iron, steel, rubber, and pottery manufacturing. It was among America's leading manufacturing markets. But not no more.
Nope.
These days, Trenton specializes in 3 things: curfews, budget cuts, and limited face coverings.
So, are you going to tell us anything useful?
The glory days of Trenton are long gone. The city peaked in population in 1950 at 128,000. Today, that number is down to 91,000. Where did they all go, you ask? Away from here. Far away. These days, there's not much of an economy in Trenton. The median household income is $55,000 per year, or about $50,000 per year less than that for all of New Jersey. On the flip side, the poverty rate is 22%. Not good.
Nope.
And now time to throw a whole bunch of stats at you all at once just to make your brain hurt. The youth poverty rate is 32%, only 15% of adults 25 and older have at least a bachelor's degree, and only 69.4% of adults have graduated high school. I'm done. I'm done. I don't know what to say anymore.
Then just stop talking and end the video already.
On to the crime rates, they say. Okay, on to the crime rates. And my oh my, does it look bad for Trenton. The property crime rate, not so much at 2,200 per 100,000 residents. That's not that much higher than the national average, but the violent crime rate, it's 3 times the national average, over 1,000 per 100,000 residents. Visit to see the New Jersey State Museum, leave and never come back because you got Capital City shanked.
That's not even a real thing.
Before we move on to the next place on our list, if you like this video, don't forget to head on down below and hit like and subscribe. Feel free to give this video a hype too, because doing those things will really help me out a ton, and it would really only take a few seconds of your time, so I'd really appreciate it if you did.
Just do it!
Thanks. Number 3 is Salem and Penns Grove.
Is that a real place?
Salem and Penns Grove are in the far southwestern part of New Jersey. They're both about a 20-minute drive apart from one another, but they both deserve to be in the number 3 spot on this list. Salem more so than Penns Grove. That being said, we'll start with Penns Grove, in which not even Bruce Willis could save Penns Grove from this list. What up, Bruce Willis? Once upon a time, Penns Grove was seen as a highly desired river resort town. Big-name celebrities before Bruce Willis's time and other wealthy visitors stayed at luxury hotels and enjoyed the views of the river. But not no more.
Nope.
These days, it's more like a large trailer park than anything else. Poverty is extremely high, crime is high, and there's a lot of drug usage, unfortunately so. Property values are low, and there's really no economy here whatsoever. The median household income is just $46,000 per year, or about $60,000 per year less than that for all of the state. The poverty rate, though, is 44%. Not good.
Gee, you think?
57% of all households in Penns Grove make less than $50,000 per year, and 54% of the youth live in poverty households. The violent crime rate is 572 per 100,000 residents, putting it right outside of the top 10 most dangerous places in New Jersey when going by the violent crime rate. If you haven't seen my 10 most dangerous places in New Jersey video, first of all, what's wrong with you? Go watch it after this one is over, but Newark was number 10 and Penns Grove is actually number 11. Anyway, yeah, things aren't jolly here in Penns Grove. You're more likely to come across a drug bust than a person who's truly happy to live here.
Once again, not accurate. My brother lives in Penns Grove and is as happy as can be.
Yeah, as far as you know. Well, now on to Salem, which is just like Penns Grove, only worse. A lot worse, actually. And not even Indianapolis Colts running back Jonathan Taylor could save Salem from this list. What up, Jonathan Taylor? Salem, along with Penns Grove, have always been small towns. Salem, however, has thrived off of glassmaking. Until it didn't. This is the old Salem Glassworks factory, which closed in 2014. These days, there aren't really any jobs to be found in the area, unless convenience store cashier is what you're looking for. The median household income is just $38,700 per year, which is about the same salary as someone working at a 7-Eleven. It might even be less, because as of 2026, New Jersey's minimum wage is $15.92 per hour, and 40 hours a week at that rate, 52 weeks a year, is a little bit over $33,000 over the course of a year. That being said, the poverty rate is surprisingly lower than what you'd think, especially after seeing that for Penns Grove. But for Salem, the poverty rate is about 24.8%. However, 56% of all households in Salem make less than $50,000 per year, and some other stats include that 30% of the youth live in poverty, 15% of adults 25 and older have at least a bachelor's degree, 19% of adults never graduated high school. So, just like with many of the other places on this list, there's more people in this town that haven't graduated high school than there are people with at least a bachelor's degree. And the median value of a home is just $79,800, which might just be the lowest median home value for a community in all of New Jersey. Lastly, the crime rates are absurd for such a small, dinky rural town. The property crime rate is just shy of 3,000 per 100,000 residents, which is close to twice the national rate, but the violent crime rate, it's 1,282 per 100,000 residents. Yeah, that's like 4 times the national rate. Neither Salem or Penns Grove is somewhere that you or anyone else should consider moving to, even if you have family there, because if you're a good family member, you'd be trying to convince them to move out at all costs. Well, next up is a completely different kind of place.
I'm actually in the city that is next on this list right now.
Number 2 is Camden.
Duh.
Talk about a complete shock. A lot of you probably thought this would be number 1, so actually, it probably really is a shock to many of you. Early on, Camden thrived from geographic location being located right across the almighty Delaware River from Philadelphia, because of course, it allowed Camden to thrive as a transportation and logistics hub during the railroad era. Industries such as shipbuilding, manufacturing, and food processing thrived here as well. But not no more.
Nope.
The population peaked all the way back in 1950 at 124,500. Today, the population is more like 71,000. These days, outside of the healthcare industry, there's really not much in Camden in terms of high-paying jobs. Sure, Campbell's Soup is still headquartered in Camden, but I'd bet that whatever high-paying jobs are offered by Campbell's or any healthcare facility in town are probably taken from people who live in other neighboring communities.
Gee, you think?
The median household income in Camden is just $38,700 per year, so basically a carbon copy of that of the previous place on this list, Salem. The poverty rate, however, is 34%, with even more households living on the brink of poverty status, with as many as 64% of all households here bringing in less than $50,000 per year. And now to throw even more stats at you all at once just to make your brain hurt, the ones that stick out the most to me would be that 43% of the youth here live in poverty, only 9.4% of adults 25 and older have obtained at least a bachelor's degree, and only 63.7% of adults have graduated high school. Good grief, it just keeps getting worse. 36.3% of adults in Camden, New Jersey have never graduated high school. How atrocious. Lastly, the crime rates are among the highest, but believe it or not, they're not the highest in New Jersey. The property crime rate is just shy of 3,000 per 100,000 residents, but the violent crime rate is over 4 times higher than the national rate at 1,460 per 100,000 residents. Well, okay, so it's hard to believe that there's a place in New Jersey ranked worse than Camden, but it's true, and it'll all make sense if you stick around to hear why that is. So let's see what's behind door number 1. Number 1 is Atlantic City.
I'm number 1.
Not even Mr. Monopoly could save Atlantic City from this list. Lying in the shadows of the glamorous, towering Atlantic City casinos is a whole bunch of nothing. See? Look, I'm not lying. It really is a whole bunch of nothing. No exaggeration here. It really is a sight to see for yourself. Atlantic City today is not what it was built to be. The place was literally established as a coastal resort in 1854. Railroads connected it with the nearby major cities, making Atlantic City an easy weekend getaway. Would you like to buy Reading Railroad for $200? For entire generations, Atlantic City was the place to vacation for many in the Northeast. But not no more.
Nope.
Why not no more? Well, air conditioning and domestic flights in the 1950s is generally to blame for Atlantic City's decline as a sought-after weekend getaway. Not sure if you knew this, but people generally like, warm weather, sunshine, things like that with their oceans and beaches. And Florida has a lot more of that than Atlantic City, New Jersey does.
Wow. Brilliant analysis. Not.
Tourism was literally the only industry here. There were no steel plants, there was never any auto factories, there weren't ever any paper mills or coal mines or anything. It was the tourism industry, and that was it. The population in Atlantic City peaked in 1930 at 66,000 people, but it declined to 38,000 by 1990, and since then, the population has stayed around the same in the high 30,000 range. In the 1970s, the casinos opened up here, and that helped, until it didn't, because it didn't take long for the neighboring states to allow casinos as well. Once that happened, there was no reason to drive all the way to Atlantic City just to go casino hopping. Not even the Trump Plaza, a once popular hotel and casino, could stay open in Atlantic City, as it closed in 2014 and was demolished in 2021.
Don't talk to me.
On to the crime rates, they say. Okay, on to the crime rates. The crime in Atlantic City is horrific. The property crime rate is 5,670 per 100,000 residents, which is over 3 times the national rate, while the violent crime rate is around 5 times the national rate at 1,460 per 100,000 residents. So yeah, visit to gamble away your life savings at whatever's left of the Atlantic City casino scene. Stay because you got the Atlantic City Shakedown. What's the Atlantic City Shakedown, you ask? Well, let me tell you, it's where you win the jackpot at one of the casinos, but little did you know that the mob has members inside every room of every casino in Atlantic City. That's right, they have you and every other casino winner outnumbered. And the move is to have a mob member congratulate you and celebrate with you to make you think that a stranger is genuinely happy for you. They'll follow you to your car while faking great conversation. Then they'll just rob you of everything that you have. So not only do you not have your winnings, but you also have no car, no phone, and you don't have any justice because the crook was able to avoid jail time. What a joke. Also, if you live here, Good luck finding a fulfilling career path. The median household income is just $41,000 per year, while the poverty rate is 32.3%. Not good.
Nope.
If you're young and single, your best move is to take a deal on one of the towering studio condos with an oceanfront view. And if you pay enough money down, you might actually be able to have a mortgage bill of only $400 a month. So owning property on Boardwalk for $400 could actually be a reality for you. How great would that be?
Wow. Bet it took you all night to come up with that one.
And lastly, time to throw a bunch of stats at you all at once just to make your brain hurt. The ones that stand out the most to me would be the fact that 50% of youth here live in poverty. The median home value is just $207,000, giving Atlantic City maybe the title of the cheapest real estate available on the Atlantic coastline. And only 78% of adults have graduated high school, so whoopity-doo-dah-day, there you have it, the 10 worst places that you could possibly live in New Jersey. Honorable mentions for this list includes Passaic, or Passaic, yuck. You have to be really careful how you say that one, wow, and Elizabeth.
Well, there you have it, guys. Those are the 10 worst places that you can live in New Jersey. Lists like this are going to be subjective. Everyone's going to have their own list. Someone else is going to think that the places on this list should be ranked differently. Other people might swap out some cities for some others that I left off of this list. Tell me what you think down below. What are the worst places to live in New Jersey? We'll see you in the next video. Peace.